Hello, so this is a continuation on the practice exam solutions starting from number 11. Alright, let's get started. What is the slope of this line? Line tangent to the graph. Now then we have to look at the derivative. What is y prime? Here in this case we have to use the quotient rule here. So we're going to have the denominator squared, and then what we're going to be doing is this. We're just going to get the derivative of the top, which is negative e to the negative x times the denominator, minus the top times derivative of the bottom, which is simply equal to 1. Now, in this case, if you have to plug in 1 to all values, what we end up getting is this. We have negative e negative x times 2 minus e to the negative x all over 4. Now this becomes negative 3 over 4 e to the x. 4 e to the 1 power, because x equals 1. So let me just erase this portion right over here. Alright, so that means our answer will be choice B. Let's look into this one. So we have first derivative is given in this way, and then this is an initial condition. Then what's going to be happening here? So let's try to get the next value here. We end up getting one thing which we can do is we can use the fundamental theorem of calculus. Here, square root of e to e of 2 over x. Now, dx is equal to, we realize that that's equal to f of e minus f of square root of e. Now, on the right side, we know what this value will be. F of e is something that which we are looking for, and this value would have been equal to 5. How about here? This becomes 2 ln of x, which goes from square root of e to e. Now, if you have to solve this one further, then what we end up getting is this 2 ln of e minus 2 times ln of square root of e. Now, this portion becomes simply 2, and here becomes minus. This portion is 1/2, so therefore we end up getting simply 1 equals f of e minus 5. Then here f of e seems to be 6. That's what we end up getting. So therefore, our answer should be choice D. How about number 13? In this case, since the exponent is relatively low, what we can do is this. We can just expand this one. We end up getting x to the 6th power plus 2x to the 3rd power plus 1. Now, dx. And if you have to integrate each one of them, then we end up getting x to the 7th over 7 plus x to the 4th over 2 and plus x plus c. So which will be? Choice B becomes our answer. Alright, as h approaches 0. In fact, what does this represent? Yes, this represents the limit of the function f of x plus h minus f of x over h as h approaches 0. In other words, this is the derivative of the function f of x. Now then, this must be the derivative of the function. What is that function? In fact, function can be expressed with the second term here, e to the x. Now, let me just rewrite this one over here. Oops. So then here we realize that that's equal to simply e to the x. In other words, we get to realize f prime of x must be also equal to e to the x. But we are looking at when the value of x is equal to 2. So f prime of 2 becomes e squared, which will be choice D. How about here? We have the slope field. Which of the following could be the solution of the differential equation with the initial condition of 0 equals 1. So when I have 0 equals 1, that's the graph that I'm looking at. And then the graph kind of goes down this way. But somehow I have to. And then same way on the other side also. Now, for example, we realize that as x approaches a bigger value, horizontal asymptote seems to be equal to 0. Then which one of them could be? In fact, in this case, horizontal asymptote is not equal to 0, and therefore A will not be 1, so as this one. Now, but this one, e to the x is not symmetrical, therefore this one cannot be the answer either. This one is more circular, so therefore this one is out. Only possible answer will be choice E. Now, a derivative of the function f of x is this way. Then which of the following could be the function of f of x? In fact, nicely, this picture represents, this diagram represents that itself. In other words, everything is positive. When the first derivative is positive, then everything has been increasing. Which one of these, obviously this one is not it, which one of these functions has continually increasing function? This one is out because this portion is decreasing, so is this one. Now, these two are the possible choices. But we get to realize that when x equals 2, the slope will be equal to 0. Now, here, slope is equal to 0, that's okay. But here, slope is not equal to 2. In fact, slope doesn't exist. So therefore, our answer should be choice E. What is the area of the region enclosed by here and here? So, if I were to sketch it just to, then here we have the function f of x will have two values where things are equal to 0. If I were to factor out x, then we get 1 minus 2x. Then this will be equal to 0 when x equals 0 or 1/2. So 0 and 1/2, and then the function will be graphing this way. Now, on the other hand, here we have g of x is equal to negative 5x. That means we are looking at a function that goes down this way. Let me just use the green. And I'm sure there must be a point where they meet up. Obviously, one point that they're meeting up is 0, 0. The other point, to figure that out, we're going to set them equal to each other. So x minus 2x squared is equal to negative 5x. Bring that over, then we end up getting 6x minus 2x squared is equal to 0. Then by factoring out 2x, we get to realize 3 minus x has to equal to 0. So one place is yes when x equals 0, which we knew that over here, or another point was when x equals 3. Then to find the area enclosed by that, simply upper minus lower. Upper was x minus 2x squared minus negative 5x dx, which goes from 0 through 3. And this will be equal to 0 through 3, negative 2x squared, and then we have plus 6x dx. Here we end up getting negative 2x to the third over 3, and then here we have plus 3x squared, which goes from 0 to 3. So once we plug in 3, we end up getting, this portion becomes 27, divided by 3 becomes 9, so we have negative 18. And here we have plus 27. But once you plug in 0, both will be equal to 0, so our answer becomes 9 itself. So therefore, there it goes. Number 18. For the function f and f prime, and f of 1 is given in this way, what is the approximation for this? using the line tangent. So then, in this case, in order for you to get the equation of the line tangent, we need x and y value. That's great, but we need the slope. So slope m should be when x value equals 1 for the first derivative. So 2 times 1 plus 1, which will be equal to 3. So therefore, our equation is y minus 4 is equal to 3 times x minus 1. But once you plug in 1.2 in place of x, we get y equals 3 times 1.2 minus 1 plus 4. Now then this becomes 4.6. 4.6 becomes our answer. Number 19. F of x is given in this way. Then the graph of f is concave up. Concave up, that means we need to get the double derivative. So the first derivative becomes 3x squared minus 12x. And the double derivative becomes, here we have 6x minus 12. In other words, x can be equal to 2. Then here, this is concavity. When x equals 2, since if I have to plug in positive values greater than 2, for example 10, then we end up getting this is positive. Here will be negative. So concave up, that means we are looking at the section where x values are greater than 2, which is choice A. Number 20. Let's try to look into this question. We have g of x is given, where f of x is the derivative of the g of x. Now, then here, that's gotta be we are looking, by the fundamental theorem of calculus, we are looking for something that's the antiderivative of f, which will be simply g of 3 minus g of 1. Then what is a g of 3? G of 3 becomes here 9, minus 9 becomes 4, minus once you plug in 1, we end up getting 1, minus 3, which is minus 2, plus 4 becomes 2. So therefore, our final answer should be 2 itself, right over here. How about number 21? That's the given graph with the area seams. Now, f of 0 is equal to 2. That's the initial condition. It is very, very important. What is the maximum value of f? Maximum value would have been, it seems to be, here we have, that becomes the maximum value because positive to negative. Another value from positive to negative would have been here. It could have been. But you see from here, we will be losing 6 but gaining 4. So we only gain, in fact, we lose 2 as a combination of these two. So therefore, this will be the highest point. How do we get to the highest point? From 0 to this particular value, then you will realize that since the integral up to this value, let's call this one as a, for example. So integral from 0 through a for the function f prime of x. This represents the change of the f value from 0 through a for the values of x here. So therefore, since we started with 2, adding 20, positive 20, therefore our answer here will be f of this particular value, f of a, should be equal to 22. That's our answer here, choice C. Let's look at number 22. So first derivative is given in that way, as you can see, and now as you can see here, we have the double root. Whenever we have the double root, then the values, first derivative about 3 doesn't change at all. On the other hand, when you have the odd number root here, first root or third root, we get to realize that values around x will change each sign. So we have 2 and 4 will be our answer. Now, but let's try to look at the derivative then here. So 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. Now, these are the possible candidates. But if you imagine this is the leading coefficient here, so we have cubic root here. That means since the right end has to be going top, this is cubic root, and this is a double root, and this is a single root over here. Cubic looks like cubic root, triple root looks like something like this, cubic function. and then double root has to be, looks like a parabola here, and then single root is simply a linear line. Then maximum has to be from positive to negative, which is this choice, not this one. So 1 only will be our answer, choice A. Number 23 here. Even function, which is f of x, consists of 4 line segments. Which of the following statement about f is false? Now, here, what do you realize? One thing that which we get to realize here is that many of them looks like the derivative value here. Now, let's look at the last one first. Choice E, you will realize that f of x minus f of 3, and then x over x minus 3. This basically means we are looking at slopes when x equals 3. Slope at x equals 3, as you can see, doesn't exist. It's a corner, so therefore this will be correct. How about here? This will be a slope around at x equals 2. Slope at x equals 2 seems to be the 1, and that is correct. Now, then how about this one? This one, if I have to rewrite it, because this is even function, you'll realize that if I have to rewrite it, limit as x approaches 0 for here f of x minus f of x over 2x. Now that's basically what we end up getting. Then you will realize that numerator is equal value, so therefore they cancel out. So this is as if I am having limit as x approaches 0 for 0 over 2x. Then this will as x approaches 0, this will be already 0, in fact. So seems to be C seems to be our answer. Now, how about B? Let us look at B for a second. When you look at B, seems to be correct, by the way. Yeah, B. When you look into B, here we have this is a slope when x equals 0. But slope at this point is that do not exist, when in fact it says 0. So therefore our answer should be choice B. Now as x approaches 0, f of x also approaches 0, so 0 minus 0 would have been equal to 0, so that's okay. Alright, let's look at number 24. The radius of a circle is increasing. Now, so it talks about the related rate. It seems the rate of the increase in the area of the circle is numerically equal to twice the rate of the increase of the circumference. So in other words, A prime is equal to 2 times the C prime. What is the radius of this circle at this instance? So let's try to look into this one. Area is equal to 2 pi r. Pi r squared. Therefore, A prime becomes 2 pi r prime. How about circumference? Circumference is 2 pi r. So therefore, C prime becomes 2 pi r prime. The fact that they have to be equal to each other in this way, so we have 2 pi r prime has to be equal to 2 times of 2 pi r prime. Then here, you get to realize that 2's cancels out, pi's cancels out, and r primes cancels out, except r is left to be 2. So therefore, this becomes our answer. Alright, let us look at number 25. Here we have to take the derivative. This is implicit differentiation here, using the product rule. Then we end up getting 2x times y plus y prime times x squared by the product rule, minus 3, which is equal to 3 y squared times y prime, and then derivative of negative 3 becomes 0. So let us plug in negative 1 and 2. then here we end up getting -1, and then 2 that becomes -4. And then plus y prime, because x value is equal to -1 squared, then becomes 1. Minus 3 is equal to 3 times y value was equal to 2. So this becomes 12 y prime. Then here, if you have to simplify it, we end up getting -7 equals 11 y prime. So y prime becomes -7/11, which is choice A. Let's look at number 26. For the positive values of x, as it's shown over here, the derivative is given in this way, double derivative is given in this way. Which of the following is true? First of all, they're talking about increasing and decreasing for the values of x about 1. Now, when the value of x is greater than 1, because we realize that ln of 1 is equal to 0. When the values of x is greater than 1, we get to see increase. So therefore, f is increasing when x is greater than 1, which would be choice for C and D. How about here? Now, we realize that ln of e is equal to 1. Therefore, if x is greater than e, that means this numerator will be negative. So therefore, we have to look at concave down, which is choice C. Becomes our answer. Number 27. Here, this is one of the popular questions. So when you take by the fundamental theorem of calculus, we just have to plug in 2x in place of t. So f prime of x will be equal to square root of 2x squared minus 2x, except that we just have to get the chain rule done, which will multiply 2 at the end, which is the derivative of 2x. Then once you plug in 2 in that place, f prime of 2 becomes square root of 16 minus 4 times 2, which will be equal to square root of 12 times 2. Square root of 12 is 2. Square root of 3 times 2 becomes 4 square root of 3. Now, we made one mistake. I guess let's try to find the mistake quickly. 1 second here. Simply the answer was, in fact, right over here. They didn't simplify it, which we just did. All right, let us continue. The last question from the no calculator part. Here we have y equals arc sine of 5 of x. Now, what is the derivative of that expression? In fact, if you remember, derivative of arc sine of x will be simply equal to 1 over square root of 1 minus x squared. Now, so in place of x we have 5x, therefore we're going to get 1 over square root of 1 minus 5x squared. But by the chain rule we have to multiply by the derivative of the inside, which is 5. So then it seems to be that our answer should be choice E. Alright, we'll stop here for the part 2, and I'll see you at the part 3. Bye-bye.